All right, UALR final exam review for college algebra problem number 6. Here we go. It says use the graph of the function to find the domain and range of f. Y equals f of x is the graph we see there. And so when we look at this, the domain, remember, is all the x values that have an associated y value. All the x values have points on the graph. You start over here at negative infinity and you're coming this way. There's no points on the graph, no points on the graph, no points on the graph, all the way here to negative 2. That empty circle says there's no point on the graph at x equals negative 2. But just as soon as you pass negative 2, immediately after you pass negative 2, all of a sudden we're in the graph, we're in the domain, we got points on the graph. So for x greater than negative 2, now as we move across the x-axis here, we can look up and down, we see points on the graph. So we're still in our domain, we get to 2. This is a solid dot, so that means we're still in the domain. So x is greater than negative 2, but x is less than or equal to 2, because once we pass 2, we're no longer on the graph, so we don't have any more points associated with those x values. So the domain here is from negative 2 to 2, not including negative 2, but including 2. You could represent that as an inequality, or you could represent that as in interval notation. It looks like on the exam they're going to do this in inequality form. Let's see here. So for our domain, we're going to say that negative 2 is less than x is less than or equal to. This is not a math font, but you know less than or equal to. There's a little less than sign with a line under it. 2. The range, let's go look at the range. The range, we come up, it's the y values that have points on the graph. So as we start down here, we always start with our lowest value and go to our highest value. We start down here, negative infinity, there's no points, no points, no points until we get to y equals negative 5. These minimums, these lowest points on the graph, they have a y value of negative 5, so negative 5 is included. Even though there's not a circle dot here, there's a point on the graph with a y value of negative 5, so we're in our range at negative 5. We go up, up, up. We're still in the range because there's points to the left or the right or both. We go up, 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 up. When we get to 4, there's no point to the left of us, but there's still a point to the right of us, so we're still in our range. Once we pass 4, though, there are no more points. So our range for this one is going to be x greater than or equal to negative 5 and less than or equal to 4. So if we go back over here, that means negative 5 is less than or equal to, again, you would do it with a line under it, x, which is less than or equal to 4. Now we're asked to evaluate the function at f of negative 1, f of 0, f of 1, and f of 2. Let's go over here where it's bigger where you can see. If we want to know where f of negative 1 is, we need to go to x, where x is negative 1, and f of negative 1 means the y value when x is negative 1. So we go where x is negative 1, we go up or down to find a point on the graph. And when x is negative 1, the y value is negative 5, so f of negative 1 is negative 5. We want to evaluate f of 0. Same thing. We go to the x, where x is 0. We go up or down, wherever it takes to get to the point on the graph. F of 0, the y value when x is 0 is negative 4. So f of 0 is negative 4. We want to do f of 1. Same thing. Go where x is 1. Go down to the graph. The y value is negative 5. So f of 1 is negative 5. We want f of 2. We go where x equals 2. We go up. And it looks like, this one kind of looks a little difficult to ascertain, but this is definitely the point 2, 4. So f of 2 will be the y value when x is 2. That's going to be 4. And that's how you do problem number 6 on UALR Final Exam Review.